Hi there, it's Ariana from Ariana Mullins Bodywork. Today I want to talk a little bit about being dismissed and being gaslighted by your healthcare professionals. I've had a couple pretty benign experiences of this recently, but I've been thinking about it a lot because I work with so many women who have been dismissed or gaslighted by the people who are supposed to be helping them, and it's really damaging. So we're going to go into why, but first I just want to share a couple of little stories. So I'm working with a couple of physical therapists and doing training in the gym to rehab a knee injury that I have, and I've been working really intensively for several months. I go a couple times a week. And the workouts are hard and I really enjoy it, actually. So something that happened a couple months in is my therapist was having me do some deadlifting, and I don't have a lot of experience with like Olympic style weightlifting. So I was learning it, and I am really careful when I'm giving him feedback to use words like I have a lot of sensation with this instead of saying this hurts or I have pain, because those are really important words that I want to use very selectively. So I was doing this deadlift, and I told him I have back pain with this, and he didn't really seem to care. And I did some more, and I said, yeah, this really hurts. And he's like, okay, well, we're going to do something else, but I do want to see what your max is today. So as we were walking away, I said, I don't think today's the right day for that. I am during the week that I'm in my cycle, I have a lot of inflammation and I have ligament laxity, and I already have pain in my back right now. So I don't think that this is the week for it. So then we do something else. And then he takes me back to where I'm doing the deadlifts. And he's like, okay, I'm going to put some more weight on. And I was like, really? And there's this conflict. And I think we women are trained to want to be good and to want to be easy and to not be problematic. And so in that moment, I was like, okay, and I tried to do a lift, but even just trying to get it off the ground, I said, this hurts. So then he took weight off and still had me do it. Well, I was out of the game for several days after that because it hurt my back. Fortunately, it wasn't a major injury, but it was a lot of pain. It took a lot of extra special care, and it took me out of doing things I wanted to do. And it shouldn't have happened. I was such a clear communicator, and he did not listen. The second one was just last week. I was training with someone who was subbing for my regular trainer, and I told him, I've been having a lot of ankle pain. I've been having ankle pain for weeks, but today it is really bothering me. And so he checked, okay, can you do this? Can you do that? My range of motion was good. He had me do some exercises to see whether I had stability in my ankle, and I performed really well with those. And I said, I know that I have functional range of motion, but I can tell that there's something wrong. There's something kind of like hitting each other when I'm trying to do certain movements, and it's really bothersome to me. And he said, well, it wasn't bothering you very much when you were doing some of the harder exercises, so I think it's because you're thinking about it. He goes, you're just thinking about it way too much, and that's creating the pain. It's mostly in your mind. And then he went on to say, it's because you want to control everything, right? So this is like a character judgment, or saying that I have a problematic personality trait that is creating the problem that I am telling him is a physical problem. So then he had me do some uphill sprints and stuff that really was hard on my ankle. And I went home and, showered, went on with my day. And then in the afternoon, I looked down and my ankle was extremely swollen, and it was bruised. It was swollen halfway up my shin. And I sent him pictures, of course. I didn't feel like I had to say a lot about the realness of my problem. And again, I want to just stop and say, both of these guys, these physical therapists that are my trainers, are awesome people. I really like and respect both of them. They're good at what they do. They're super kind, sweet, and respectful. Okay, they're good people. But both of them did this thing to me within a very short period of time that I think happens very disproportionately to women. We're told when we say, I have a problem, and particularly my body is telling me that there's pain. My body is telling me no, or my body is telling me that there's a problem. And then we are told, you are the problem, right? Like, your perception of reality isn't real. That's gaslighting. It makes us wonder if we're crazy, that whether our experience that we're having is actually happening, or if we've somehow created it in our mind, or we're dismissed, saying like, the problem you have isn't really a problem. The problem in your back with with deadlifting, the pain, that's not really an issue. We're going to go ahead with the plan, right? And these are, again, such small examples that didn't cause a huge amount of damage. Both of them, did have consequences for me. But so many women are dismissed and gaslighted in ways that are so much worse. I remember seeing this little girl. She was 5 years old a couple years ago. Her mom brought her in because she was extremely constipated. She wasn't pooping, she would go a week or more without pooping. And when she'd poop, there was blood. It was really severe. And as a baby, she had had severe gastric issues as well. And the pediatrician literally told the mother, I think that this is just how she is, right? So it's this sort of personality judgment. And I think this happens so much more to females than it happens to males. Like, your daughter's personality is anal retentive. There's probably not much we can do to help her poop because it's her personality. It's the way she is. That little girl did not have a personality problem. She needed help. I worked with her just a little bit and she was pooping every day. Like, there was nothing wrong with a 5-year-old girl in terms of her personality that wouldn't let her poop, And so not only are women not getting the health care that we need, which happens all the time, but there's something much more deeply damaging. And it's this idea that we can't trust our bodies. We can't trust the sensations and signals, even the symptoms that are clear symptoms. We get dismissed so much, or we get questioned so much around whether or not what we're experiencing as a problem is actually there, or whether it's actually a problem, that it causes us to question ourselves. We wonder if we are the problem, right? And we wonder if we're worth our healthcare providers' time, and whether or not we need to just deal with what's going on or get used to it. And so many women just get used to the problems that they're living with instead of truly expecting help. And there's this other aspect too, to trusting your own body, that's so important. We get so much information, and women get more information, I think, than men do from our bodies. There's all these intuitive sensations or intuitive information that we get, and it comes through our bodies. But when we stop feeling our bodies, or stop believing our bodies, or stop trusting our bodies, or even start fearing our bodies, or we ask them to please be quiet because we don't want to hear the information they're sending us anymore, or someone's told us that we are creating those sensations in our mind and they're not real, then we develop a real disconnection with ourselves and with our own intelligence. So much intelligence comes through our bodies. How are we supposed to live and make good decisions if we can't trust the information that is coming from our own bodies? If we question everything, So one of my big passions is just helping women connect to the information in their bodies, the sensations. All of it is good. It doesn't matter if it's pain or if it's a weird sensation. All those sensations are important, and we need to be able to connect with them, not constantly shut them down, question them, or say that they're bad. Right? There's nothing bad in the body. Our body just shows us so much information, and we are often not able to find the information because we can't make that connection, or we've been taught not to believe the information or to dismiss it or to treat it as an annoyance. There's so much there, and I'm not talking about just symptoms of illness. I'm talking about, how you feel in a certain situation, whether it's unsafe or toxic for you. Can you trust that feeling in your body of, this isn't good for me, this is not a good situation, right? Or when someone's talking to you about somebody else and you just feel really uneasy with what's going on, right? And if you're just constantly tuning out your body, you're not going to be able to be fully present to respond to what the dynamic is there, to have that sense of truth when something is true or when something is important, right? We are such sensitive beings, and our sensitivity is a gift, but we're making ourselves less and less sensitive and losing so much of our own innate intelligence and authenticity in the process as we sort of disconnect from our physical bodies. So anyway, it's a little bit long, but I've just been thinking about it so much that I wanted to share. And I would love to hear if you've had some experiences similar to mine or what you think about this idea. And I'm always up for engagement around these ideas and topics. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Bye.